motors in the mounting yard, giving you crucial info from trainers, jockeys and owners. And of course, the Matt Hill call.
This is a fantastic win. She's bulletproof, bolted in.
It's just really rewarding to get this horse to win this race today. It means so much.
Get the insight into every race Saturday from Caulfield on RSN Racing and Sport.
Get ready for an epic day of fun at Moe Racing Club, Sunday, February 23.
Gather your mates for another thrilling day of racing action. Secure your spot in the clubhouse marquee for just $50. The ultimate way to enjoy the races.
Or soak up the atmosphere from any of our public spaces. There's something for everyone.
Bring the family along and let the kids enjoy the giant water slide and rides. Plus, don't miss the inaugural Moe gift, a spectacle you'll want to witness.
Tickets selling fast. Don't miss out. Head to moeracingclub.com.au now. Moe Racing Club. Now that's winning.
Like your Quinellas, Exactas, Trifectas, First Fours, Quaddies, this Saturday with Bet365, you'll be paid out at the highest national tote for all exotics at Caulfield, Randwick, Doomben, Morfordville and Ascot. That's 51 races. Because it's never ordinary at Bet365. Selected meetings and eligible customers only. Terms and conditions apply.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
On RSN Racing and Sport, it's time for the grey areas with Jason Adams and George Ferrugia.
The kid was a human dynamo.
Are you sure you're talking about George?
George of the jungle, friend to you and me.
Good afternoon. It's time for Grey Areas on this Friday afternoon. A staple here on RSN and 927. My name's Jason Adams. Big show ahead. Talking all things at Greyhound Racing. We'll have a brief wrap on Sandown last night. Go through every heat of the Australian Cup at the Meadows tomorrow night. The two Group 1s, which we spoke about in depth on Wednesday. We've got George's best bets at the Meadows. And the Super Bowl on Monday. I've asked him to come up with a Super Bowl multi, or at least some sort of betting offers that are restricted to the novelty market only. If you've got any of your own, text in 0416 90 50 52. Welcome to the self-titled icon, George Ferrugia. Look to be in that Friday afternoon feeling, mate, which isn't unusual.
Good afternoon, Jace. I'll tell you what about our operator here, John Henry? He's put the basketball on for us to watch the beloved Celtics. Don't worry that they're losing.
You might
by
as well
11.
not be here.
He's just a star. He just looks after me. There's donuts outside.
It's the first I knew of it.
I was trying to give you a wrap.
Yeah, that's...
No, really looking forward to tomorrow night, Jace. We'll talk about Sandown from yesterday as well, but what a great meeting. I know Melbourne Cup Heat Night is the one for you that you get very excited about, but the Meadows meeting tomorrow night is outstanding. Obviously, two Group 1s and then other races affiliated with the Australian Cup in this 3-week series. Bring it on.
Yep, 100%. And of course, if those Tem Lee runners are in the heats, we're probably speaking about them at a very different level. But that is the purpose of which the Australian Cup Series is, and don't we love it? John Henry, I know you're off the caffeine. Did you resist the temptation walking past those donuts outside the studio?
Yeah, no, I had a coffee this morning.
Oh, did you?
First time.
We were talking about it last week. Thought he'd jump back on.
Yeah. So I'm buzzing in here. I'm hitting the walls.
Can I just tell a small story before we go on? And this is just to show the enormity of this great man that I work with, Jason Adams. I went in to the RSL, just had a quiet Great Northern yesterday and put a couple of bets on just for a bit of fun. And there's a meat raffle there. And a guy came up to me and said, you guys do that radio show? And I go,
did not.
Yes, I swear. You guys do the radio show. He goes, just tell Jason I'm a big fan, okay? So this was a guy, his name was Cam. He said, I'm a big fan of Jason's. I may as well have been a cardboard cutout, John. He had no interest in anything I had to say. It's all about this man over here. So I just thought I'd pass it on.
Did he have
Cam,
anything else to say of worth?
No, he just said he just loves your work on TV and radio, and so I'm giving you a rap here, mate, and it's a true story. So I think you've got a lot more fans now after your obsession with maths as well. So... No, it's fantastic.
No,
I just thought I'd give you a wrap, mate. Yep.
What did you do this morning?
I went to watch my son play T-ball.
T-ball?
In a inter-school competition. It was hilarious. Just 10 kids yelling at each other. Third base, second base. They had no idea what was going on. It was brilliant. They won 21-15. Absolutely no defence whatsoever in that game. So, no, that was good fun.
So I take it you saw none of night one of the Premier League of darts this morning?
No, I did not.
Very good. Littler Van Gerwen, if you're half a darts fan out there, make sure you go back and watch the replay. Outstanding stuff.
I thought you were going to mention Liverpool winning 4-0 when you went to that part of town. Well, I just thought...
Oh, Premier League?
No, it was for a cup or something. It was a semi-final.
They're struggling, the Spurs.
Yeah, I think that... I don't know if that's... Is that the last nail in the coffin for old mate?
Old mate Ange? May well be. All right, let's get on with it. Rapid Sandown last night. There wasn't a stack to really delve into. We knew that going into the meeting, but Boracay Storm, who you tipped on Wednesday, George, was very, very good. 1860 to the back, and between the 100 and 200 metre mark, put 2 lengths on anything else throughout the meeting. So that was a fast performance.
I'm glad the race starter backed it up, Jason, because live, after that early start where he was bumping, I thought, oh no, we're going to tip people into a loser here. His acceleration was unbelievable. I think David Gill has really uncovered one here. I mean, I know he's been racing for a little while, but and again, far be it from me to tell David what to do, but he almost feels like a golden Easter egg dog. Now, he needs to, that was a mixed 4 and 5. He needs to be able to handle racing against the best. But that acceleration on one of those speed tracks like Wentworth Park, wow, Jace. The leader went 496, poor Tabitha, as you said, and then railed up underneath her and was absolutely fantastic. That was a very, very good win. Just want to mention Mark McClellan getting a double too. I think that would be his first double in town. He's got a greyhound called Infra Rock, I think, who broke 42 seconds, Jace, over the 7:15.
I was about to mention him because he ran home in 11:05, which for a stayer, it's very, very strong.
Yeah, look, I mean, it obviously wasn't the toughest of races he was against, but he beat some pretty good stayers. And leading up to that, his provincial form at Ballarat and Bendigo, he beat a greyhound that the Hallinans own called Crutching Tommy, who they have a very high opinion of. And this greyhound beat that greyhound hands down twice. And I thought, coming into town, this would be really interesting to see how he goes. And he was fantastic, breaking 42 seconds. So he could be one, Jace, going forward. He's had 21 starts. He's missed a place only twice. So I think he's got that nous to chase pretty well. And if you're breaking 42 seconds in this day and age, where again, it sort of peaks and troughs a little bit, the quality of stayers, doesn't it? But if you're running those times, you're competitive and you're going to make some group races. So if he can stay sound, he might be okay.
Could we see him in Super Stayers heats next Saturday at the Meadows?
Might be a throw at the stumps. There's probably, going to be...
No reason not to, in my
3
opinion.
heats or...
Something like that.
Yeah. So, probably worth a crack.
All right.
Put it this way, Jace. Some of the greyhounds that he beat will probably be in the heats. So... you might as well have a crack.
Yep. All right, so that's a wrap of Sandown last night. For all that race data that Georgie's talking about and myself, head to grv.org.au/race data for every meeting at Sandown and also the Meadows. Australian Cup heats tomorrow night. There's 8 of them. Are you comfortable with the depth of which we've got in front of us?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Like you said, I mean, it's...
You take the best 8 out, it makes a difference, but it's still good.
Semi-final stage is where it's really at. But, no, I think we've got some I'm not going to say fallen heroes, but heroes of yesteryear that might have had some injuries that want to, again, make a name for himself. I'm talking about Morton, these type of greyhounds who are keen to jump back into the spotlight, and I think they will tomorrow night.
All right, let's go through these heats one by one. The first of them, which is race 2 tomorrow at the Meadows, Cruising Debbie's the current favourite from box 1, and we know she's got plenty of speed, George. I think she's got a bit of a flat spot in running, and I just sense this field's going to bunch up at some point in time. So Warm Cockles, I want to be the fastest dog in the race, and I think that's him.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I'm happy to take that $4.20 on offer around that price, Jace, because I just think that his Brisbane form, I think he almost went to another level. He's got a really good record here at the Meadows. The speed in the pink is a little bit of a worry. Giacomo, who gets out and goes and has also got a solid record here at the Meadows. But I think if Warm Cockles can begin cleanly, Jace, I think he's the greyhound to beat in that first race.
All right, heat 2, which is race 3. We've got Where's Poppy from box 1. I just didn't know what to make of her run last week because she ran, I think it was 29.97. You go back... what would it be? A month or 5 weeks, she went 29.70. So I'm just not sure she's absolutely redlining at this point in time. And this is another race where there is speed left, right and centre. Whereas Poppy's going to get out well. Honey Zen's got a stack of pace. Reality Best can get away well. Mapunga Tully's got speed. So it's helter-skelter.
It is.
And the swooper's going to be Emerald Tiger.
I agree with you. She went, 29.97 when she won that race last week. And I think we tipped her and she... I'm just not sure about her last 50 metres, isn't it? Like they were sort of gaining her a little bit, but yeah, look, off box 1, she should be hard to beat. But again, if you want to talk about the fastest greyhound in the race, it's probably the 7, Mapunga Tully.
Do you consider her hit or miss, or is that harsh?
Yeah, she is a little bit. I mean, I think she's become a little bit more consistent, though, in the last 6 to 8 weeks of racing, Jace. I think she always had ability, but she went to another level. Forget her run last week because she just got into all sorts of trouble there at Brisbane. So put a line through that. Again, another solid record at the Meadows with a good PB. Probably where I'm leaning because I don't think there should be that much of a discrepancy between West Poppy and Mapunga Tully in regards to the odds. So probably number 7 for me.
Yep. Well, I agree with the discrepancy in the odds, but with that early pace, I sense Emron Tiger's going to get some sort of run at some point of the race. It was dreadful to begin his last start, but if he can tidy that up just slightly, be a little bit closer to him, he'll be threatening hard late. All right, race 4, heat 3, we see Morton as favourite from box 2, and I sense this is his time to shine. Georgie had a spell over Christmas. He's had 2 runs back. They've both been at Brisbane, both against some extreme opposition, but I sense this is his chance to go whack.
And to back it up with a fast trial to show that he's sort of back. And look, Jason, I think if you were rating all of the heats, I don't think this would rate as one of the higher standard ones. He's drawn well. Terrific record at the Meadows again. Yes, there's some speed with Fernando Phil, but he does like to use a little bit of the track. I just think it's his race, Jace. I know, look, we're shopping it around, not even money. Probably, hopefully, we can get about $1.90. But I think Morton is probably one of the anchors tomorrow night. So
I agree.
Yeah, I think he'll be very hard to beat.
I agree. All right, race 5. Firstly, the Quaddie Heat 4 favourite is Poor Oswald, the recent Group 1 winner at Wentworth Park. I thought this was probably the most open of the heats. What was your take?
I did. I wrote it at the top of the form guide. I just thought it's really open and a really interesting heat. There's some greyhounds like Mapunga Scarlet who's young, but again, it sort of feels like a throw it at the stumps type of.
And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure from Motion Sensor. He wants to get down to the fence from the 8.
Yeah, Armour Mustang is a talented chaser on her day for sure, but Poor Oswald again. He seems the class runner here, Jace. If he can just navigate that first corner, he's not always brilliant away, is he? So that's my concern, and that's why it's one of those races that I think I'm just going to stay away from a betting point of view, but I'm tipping him on top.
I'll be tipping I'm a Mustang. Let's get to Heat 5 before we get to the next race at Horsham, and Field Day's $2.40 here as favourite. And I see him in the same light as Morton. If not, I'm more keen on him. I think he gets a big opportunity here.
This is a great little race between him and Here Comes Millie. And the only reason you're getting $2.40 for Field Day and not $1.50 is because Millie's in the race. Because recently her PB at the Meadows is very, very good. She shows good speed, so she'll be giving them some pepper early. But you just feel like this is Field Day's time to shine, don't you? I mean, he's handled middle draws, Jace. He's a big dog, but I'm leaning towards him.
Well, the thing is, he needs clear room to go through the gears. So he's got Kiwi James immediate inside. He can't win the race, but wants to get down towards the fence.
Yeah.
Kane Bale's got no speed in 5. So for Field Day, that's just what he needs. Get clear. He'll cut loose. What do you make of those drawn in 7 and 8? Orly Bale, Kenya All Class. And I don't think there's much doubt that they're in the same league as Field Day and Here Comes Millie from a time point of view, but it is very difficult for strong operators like them with not a lot of early pace to get into it, given the likes of Field Day and Here Comes Millie have much better track position on the inside.
Yeah, I think people that listen to this show know that we're a fan, or I'm a fan of Orly Bale. How he's going to get across.
Called him a star last week.
Yeah, look, he's a talented greyhound. Could you back Kenya Class from there? He began really well last week, didn't he? He began a lot closer than what we thought and then got into trouble.
Possibly what got him in strife.
Yeah. I'm just worried about him with Here Comes Millie and Field Day sort of highballing out in front, which I think will happen. So, yeah, I'm probably going to stay away from the 7 and 8 this week.
All right, the 5th at Horsham is coming up. Short price favourite number 4, Vilma Bale at $1.40, and Dame Barry's taking it on, which I love. He's with the red Kalinda Law. Let's get to him. Race 5, Horsham.
Thanks, Jason. RSN 927 back with us now for the 5th event from Horsham. Good luck if you're investing in the quaddies today. The favourite from 4, Vilma Bale. Her last win came 2 starts back at Bendigo there over the 425. It's 155. It did get into 135, back to 140 late. 2 Mango Cans, $5 to 6 in the 1 Kalinda Law. Third line of betting at $7 next best. Good luck with your quaddies today at Horsham. This is race 5 and the heavily backed favourite box 4, Vilma Bale. Going to jump $1.40. Last of them in, the green light is on. Lure rolls and we're set to go. Race 5 from Horsham, they're ready. And racing away fast the centre now would have been Idrin Bale, shows good pace. Better speed now the inside from Kalinda Law, who goes to its inside second. Third out deeper comes the favourite Vilma Bale. And then came Mango Cans ahead of Vinnie Dwalt, Orson Fury. Well back to Gypsy Ordain and she's on boost in the straight. And Idrin Bale got away. It's 4 lengths in front. Chasing hard Vilma Bale down the outer. But Idrin Bale's off and gone. And Idrin Bale leads all the way. 3.5 to Vilma Bale. Third Kalinda Law and fourth a photo. Mango Cans, Kalinda Law is in it along with Vinnie Dwalt. And then came behind those Orson Fury, she's on boost, and Gypsy Ordain. The time recorded 23:31. Idrin Bale won it at the start for Simone Fisher at Lara. Number 5, Idrin Bale leads all the way. 5-4-1. 5-4-1, and the fourth number is very close, and the judge will be indeed needed on the fourth photo. But the numbers for the first 3, 5, 4, 1, and a photo on fourth. 23:31 was the race time. 5 Idrin Bale, after a really strong getaway, leads all of the way. A red to Brindle Dog by Fernando Bale, out of Idria Bale, Simone Fisher at Lara, and of course Darren and Simone Fisher, the winning owners involved. 8 has got fourth, so the interim numbers will be 5, 4, 1, 8. That's 5, 4, 1, 8, the interim numbers to the first leg of the quaddie. 5 Idrin Bale today, having start 30, records his 8th career win with a further 6 minor placings. Takes his earnings now onwards of 14,000. Standing by for those tote dividends to come through after the quaddie opener.
I've got those, Dane. Allow me. Number 5, Idrin Bale, $8.30 and $1.04 starts the quaddie. Number 4, Vilma Bale at $1.20. 1 Kalinda Law, $1.80, and 8 Vinnie Dwalt. 5, 4, 1 and 8. The Quinella, $5.40. Exacta, $32. The Trifecta, $104. And the first 4 in the race was $473. 5, 4, 1, 8. The running double, a pair of 5s, 2 yellow dogs, $26. And in race 6, he's gone green. Dane, he's gone 6, 1, 8 and 5.
All right, back to grey areas, and text messages come in from Mark in Strathmore. What happened to George's tip last week? Sandown race 9, number 1, ran horrible. Thanks, Mark. Don't think he tipped race 9, number 1. So
no, I didn't. Just get it right. And last week we didn't have a good tipping week on
before cleaning up on Saturday
at Sandown. Yeah, look, we always put our hand up when we get them wrong for sure. But yeah, just tell us which one it is, because I think one did go pretty bad off the inside draw. But Trillo Bale, I think, got up for us, but I think it was the one after that.
Yeah. All right, Heat 6 of the Australian Cup tomorrow night at the Meadows, race 7. And look, this is a tricky race, George. And Big Energy's the favourite out wide. I will be tipping him. A lot's going to be happening down towards the inside because poor Tika in 2, she wants to drift off the track pretty bad. Big advantage to Dutch Riot from box 1, but I don't think he's going well enough to run a winning time in an Australian Cup heat. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we're looking at each other's notes, because I just thought in his last couple of starts he probably wasn't at the level that we know.
It's like he's been priced up on form 6 months ago and he's getting on in age.
Yeah, he probably had some injuries, right? So that's a concern. There's a little bit of speed in the 6, isn't there, with Zipping Minaj as well.
Nangar Jim's got some toe.
Yeah, it's an interesting little race. Nangar Jim's win last week was very good. Big Energy's record off the wide draw is actually quite good. So, and we know its runs. His runs recently have been pretty good. Are we keen to jump into the even money odds or $1.95? Probably not. But he's the one. If you sort of gun to head, have to have a tip, I'd say Big Energy.
And people would be quick to say he's not as good as at the Meadows potentially than what he is at Sandown. He's had 6 starts in the Meadows for 1 win.
Yeah,
there's been 2 Phoenixes in that, a Top Gun and a Team Lee. So he's been up against it more often than not. Drawn poorly in some of those races, but I think he can run a straight line and do some damage in that heat of the Cup tomorrow night. Heat 7, which is race 9. Let's not confuse myself with the Zoom top. Deadly Avenger and Scalacci, they are the standouts in this market. What's your read? I think ability, Deadly Avenger is much better, but I don't think it's as trustworthy to begin in a way that Scalacci can.
Yeah, I feel like it's Scalacci's time to win this. I think he's got a slow beginner on his inside. I don't think he should get too much pressure from the 5 either. So, Scalacci's best racing has always been, Jason, when he gets just that first 20 metres to move and show his best. So if he's anywhere near his best, absolutely. I always have in the back of my mind the high opinion that Tom Savalas had about Deadly Avenger.
He's so fast. If they match motors, Deadly Avenger wins.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the key. I mean, he just has to beat that box draw. Cracking little race, this. There's a couple of little match races that I think are fantastic, and this is one of them. So I'm sticking with Scalacci, though. I think it's probably his time tomorrow.
Yeah, so am I. I think he can be in a better position after 50, 60, 70 metres. Sharapova's Star, there's no place prices out yet, but she's very well drawn out in 8 with a stack of speed. She'll probably get run down, but if you get better than, say, $2.40 for a drum, that's probably an attractive option. Okay, race 11, which is the 8th and final heat of the Australian Cup. Stormy Day in box 2. Ethanol Volume in the 8. Tipping Hopkins is another big contender here. This is not clear cut. I'll be tipping Stormy Day. Loved his run at Sandown last start. Thought he might go a tad quicker, but that's potentially been harsh. But I think he can spear to the front here, and only probably Zipping Hopkins, if he's close enough, would be a big chance to catch him.
I'm keen on Zipping Hopkins here.
Why?
I think he's the best dog in the race, and it's a winnable race. I just think.
Can he win it on his own merit, or is relying on gaps to open up, things go wrong up front?
Yeah, with his racing pattern, there's some luck that you need. So you probably wouldn't want to be taking anything shorter than what he is. But I just think some of his runs recently, Jace, if he runs up to those, Stormy Day, I understand where you're coming from here, but can be hit or miss at box rise. If he's miss, then I think this race opens up completely, and I think Zipping Hopkins will be there to strike. And his recent form has been fantastic, Zipping Hopkins, and he's been able to weave his way through fields. I'm going to ride my luck with a greyhound who doesn't hit the front early, but I'm keen on Zipping Hopkins here.
And number 3, Van Wyck, do you own that one?
Yeah, yep.
Any chance?
Well, his PB there is 29.70, so he's a fast dog. He's had some injury concerns. His last couple of runs haven't been great, so again, here's a wait and see. He trialled well in the lead-up, is all I can tell people, but we need Stormy Day to miss the kick because we know the 4 misses the kick, and he does have some early speed at his best, but I don't want Hopkins behind me, Jace, because it's going to be lights out.
Yeah, runs on unleaded with a massive, massive V8 engine. All right, the 2 Group 1s, which are races 8 and 10. We went through them in depth on Wednesday, but we'll quickly touch on them again. The Zoom top for the stayers, George, Ethanol Water. I guess majority of people would be settling with her as their on-top selection. I don't mind Lanfranco, but what do you reckon?
I'm going to be boring with my 2 selections in the Group 1 races, but I think we've spoken about Ethanol Water being the best stayer. She's got the best box here. I think she can open up an early lead. She races so well at the Meadows. Her PB over 5 and 600 metres at this track, Jace, are outstanding, and I think she can set a really nice PB here tomorrow night. So race 8, number 1, Ethanol Water, I think will be winning. I know it's simplifying it a bit, but I just think she'll get out and go and be very hard to beat.
I think she'll do that too, but I think that can help Lanfranco. If he settles behind her, and we know what Lanfranco did in his last crack at the Meadows, 42.09, Ethanol Water can't run that time.
I'm not sure he'll just settle right behind her.
No,
though.
He's not a greyhound you look at and think he's going to begin like that. He's going to settle there. He's going to be hard to beat. He's not that type, but he can.
I reckon there's a chance that, I reckon the 4 and the 5 can lead him. They're not in the class of him in terms of ability. But
he's not one you want shuffled back.
Yeah, so that's my concern with him. Yeah, and I'm always wary of greyhounds. Even though he's got a great PB, he's never faced greyhounds like this before, so he's got to handle that pressure.
Yeah, it's a different challenge, that is for sure. But I'm willing to be with the X Factor, which is Lanfranco. George is with Ethanol Water. The Tem League race 10. From what you said before, I assume Flying Zulu is going to be the one you're in the camp of.
Just great splits all around, and his best racing has been when he's shown those early splits. What has he gone? 5 dead and 5.04 in his last couple. That's probably enough to lead this race, or at least sit behind a Hotel Whiskey one, who adds so much intrigue to this race. I mean, as I keep saying, trainer Anthony Azzopardi has spoken about this dog for a long time. He goes in with heaps of confidence in this race. He thinks we can bust him up and be very hard to run down. The only concern for them is they don't want Flying Zulu sitting on their hammer turning for home, because we know that last 50 metres is the concern, and he pushes off the track a bit, and Flying Zulu could get the run underneath him. He's my tip, Flying Zulu. I think he's going too well.
So you're having an affair given you've got a really strong relationship with Smooth Plain?
No, not a fair. Just
No?
you've got to call it as you see it. Yeah, I probably won't get a phone call for a while, but that's okay.
All right.
Anthony understands.
Excavation for me. I think he's well drawn out there, and
yes,
has
I like it.
always shown really good ability from my draw. So with him, so there's a look at just about the whole card at the Meadows tomorrow night. If you're keen to tune in anywhere else but Sky Racing 1, you can do that on Sky Racing Active and as well as the Watchdog app. Mark Olmos will be hosting Nathan Rooney, who's an absolute jet from a judgment point of view, and myself cruising around getting the most...
Getting recognised at RSLs these days.
RSLs. I'm going to an RSL tonight, Springvale.
I think they've seen that photo behind me here, and your face is you say I said iconic.
How underage would I look at the RSL you visited?
No, you'd be surprised. It is a different demographic these days, especially when there's a meat raffle on. You did say those teeth were whitened in that photo, but apart from that, that's
artificial to say the least. So coverage tomorrow night, tune in. I might have to do some roaming Brian sort of stuff, Georgie. I love knowing what trainers have for tea, so that might be a focus for tomorrow night. And James Vandermeer will be calling. And speaking of having dinner, the last time I saw him at the Meadows, he was having his dinner, a couple of jam donuts and a chocolate mousse with a can of Coke to wash it down.
Is that all vegan? Isn't he vegan?
Well, it'd have to be because he wouldn't be doing it without it, but it did make the vegan life look a bit more appealing.
No, not for me.
All right.
Crazy if you don't eat meat. Go on, sorry. Continue on.
I'm out.
Johnny's just telling us we don't have long.
Oh, yeah.
3.5 minutes.
If you want to get to the Meadows tomorrow night, there's $5
Tips.
beers and ciders. Yeah, we'll get there. $5 beers and ciders all night, $10 pizzas, and there's a DJ as well. So you might be at the Meadows thinking you're at the BBL at the Darts. Great reason to get out there.
If you got nothing to do, I went last year on the decking there. It was fantastic. Great night of racing. Corey and his crew out there do a fantastic job.
That they do. All right, let's get into it, Georgie. You cleaned up at the Meadows last Saturday night. 3 from 3. Now, you've got to back this up, mate. Hit us. We've got the tune. Everyone's tuning in. It's your time to deliver to all the punters around the country.
All right, there's 3 that I like at the Meadows. Race 2, number 7, Warm Cockles. Been one of our favourites, went interstate and was brilliant, so I've got it on top. Loves the Meadows. Race 4, number 2 is my best, Morton. I just think he'll win. I think you can anchor him with anything that you like in the thoroughbreds or some of these Super Bowl bets that we're going to come up with. And race 11, number 5, I think he can zigzag his way into an Australian Cup semi-final, and that's Zipping Hopkins. So race 2, number 7, race 4, number 2, race 11, number 5. Now, do you want the Super Bowl stuff?
I can see his heart beating out of his chest with his tune pumping in the background.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Just quickly, Tim from Kilsyth. Hey, boys. In race 8, which is a Zoom top tomorrow night at the Meadows, can Unreal Speed challenge the 2 favourites? Well, there's X factor surrounding him. He's so fresh. Ability, yes. Can you turn up in a Group 1 and do it? I don't know.
Not if Ethanol Water's out in front. I'm not sure he can run her down.
All right, Super Bowl Monday, George. It's your time to shine.
Okay.
I mentioned at the start of the show. Did you have a proper one first?
Yeah.
Get the proper one out of the way because the novelties is what I'm after.
Okay, so we're not going to sort of bet on the winner. Jalen Hurts, who of course is the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Never heard of him.
Anytime touchdown scorer, we're shopping at around $1.95. So Jalen Hurts for the tush push will get through, or he'll run his. They call it a tush push, where they have 1 yard and all his front line just push him over the line and get it through. $1.90 for him. There's a couple here I like. Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown scorer. He's plays for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Careful on that pronunciation. Please.
Now, rushing yards for Patrick Mahomes over 29.5 for people that are keen on that. And under 61.5 receiving yards for Taylor Swift's boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Okay, under 61.5.
Right,
too old.
So they're out of the way.
Now.
They're out of the way. The serious ones are on the table. All right, now we want some novelty, some strange areas where you have some sensational insight in.
This is going to be my big bet of the weekend. Morton into this. The length of the national anthem.
Which you nailed last year.
Yeah, over 123.5 seconds. We're shopping at $2 because they make it a really big deal and they really hit on that last bit. Just after Rockets Red Flare.
That's 2 minutes.
Hey?
That's just over 2 minutes.
What was it last year?
Bank it.
How many seconds last year?
Over 118.5 and it went 124. 123.5, length of national anthem, $2. If we have no luck there, guys, back up Purple Gatorade onto the winning coach. Purple Gatorade.
Have you done the form for this?
I've got some mail from a friend of mine.
Oh,
He's in a purple patch.
Oh, the part owner said this. He was mates with this person, and his daughter said that.
What's the name of this bet? Obscure, right? So can you get more obscure than the colour of Gatorade tipped on the coach after a Super Bowl?
We've got to wait a while for that, and I think the national anthem we can
I tell you
get
what,
out of the way. Morton would have won on Saturday night.
Morton I think will win. John's maybe onto something here because the under 123.5 seconds is $1.72, John. So we're playing the roughie on
the market mover
on the length of national anthem. We've gone mad, but that's okay. I think John, he's looking at me with such contempt.
Can you see?
You wouldn't get that tip of the RSL, Georgie.
No, I'd give that there. I'd get killed.
All right, on their way to the boxes for the 6th race at Horsham. That's a wrap for grey areas on this Friday. As I said before, massive night at the Meadows tomorrow night. If you're keen to tune in, do so through Sky Racing Active, uninterrupted throughout the whole night. As well, you can do that on the Watchdog app. But in the meantime, John Henry, they're on the way to the boxes at Horsham.
Yeah,
we'll be back on Wednesday.
Running just a little bit late there, Jace.
Happy Super Bowl day on Monday.
You tell me to get on with it, and you tell me to hold up. Which way are we going?
I can't control the speed at which they walk.
I feel bad. I'm going to go and speak to management because I'm going to try to get John Henry off his shift on Monday so he can come and watch the Super Bowl with me.
Chance. No chance.
You won't do that. Someone might take his chair.
Not sure what you're doing. Have you got a darts meeting on Monday morning? What's happening? Are you going to tune into the Super Bowl?
No, the Premier League's on, so that's Friday mornings now for me.
Can you at least listen to the national anthem and time it for me?
The agenda will be clear. The agenda will be clear for that 123 seconds, however it was.
Gone mad.
Righto. Favourites, Statue of Time here.
We're going to watch.
Oh, no, hang on. Star 66 has come into favourite at Horsham.
Probably at just a local pub, yeah.
So if you like Star 66, don't forget, into the overs for the national anthem on Monday at the Super Bowl.
That's the one.
All right.
See you on Wednesday, boys. Next Wednesday.
Johnny. Enjoy your weekend.
It's been a good week. Here's Dane.
350 now, 370, third line, and then into double.